I just love when they both go live at the same time. Hey, and happy Monday. I just hope that you guys had the best weekend ever. I had a weekend of relaxing, not really doing a whole lot. And it's so crazy. I really want to hear your opinion on this. Has anybody ever woken up in the middle of the night? And when I say middle of the night, I mean like 4 a.m. because today that was me. Woke up at 4 a.m. with like this epiphany, this softball epiphany, online training epiphany that I was like, if I fall back asleep right now, this thing is not going to happen and I'm going to forget about it tomorrow morning. Like when I wake up. So I literally today woke up at 4 a.m. and I took like a 30-minute nap like an hour ago, but like since then I have not gone back to sleep and my mind has just been cycling with so many crazy good ideas and I'm like, whoa, I just love days like this. So do you guys ever have days where you just like wake up in the middle of the night with like epiphanies and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I need to write this down? Because like I used to do it all the time and then just fall back asleep and then wake up the next morning like, what was that thing? I totally forget. But today was one of those moments where I was just like, screw it, it's 4 a.m. I'm just going to get up and I'm going to write down what I was thinking and go from there. So a lot of work has been done today. My friend told me that I looked really tired, so I made sure to put some, puff up my eyes a little bit just so I can look like I'm alive. Fun fact, I always start with like why I chose the hat that I did today. I love khaki hats, like love, love, love them. And I'm not really a Rockies fan, but this is the Colorado Rockies logo. But where I got it was, I think it was like my first or second year playing pro, with the Charge. A few girls and I, like we had like an off day or we had like a night off and we went to a Rockies game. And like I said, I'm not really a Rockies fan, but I kind of have this thing where whenever I go to a ballpark, I like to go get a hat. So I love this hat. I love how simple the logo is. So I went and I bought a hat and I bought a shirt from Colorado Rockies when I was there. But that stadium is so, so cool. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I love that stadium. Like I would go back in a heartbeat the next time I'm in Colorado. But that's where the hat came from today. I kind of like starting with like, where did this hat come from? What's it for? Because I don't know. I just like my hats. If you guys haven't noticed, I wear them every single week. Put my coaching hat on. I'm here for you guys. I'm so happy to be here. I think I want to like start going live more than once a week just because of how much I look forward to Mondays. But today's coaching, I might run out of topics if I do that. That's not true. I'll never run out of topics to talk about. But today, if you guys saw on my social media, today's going to be all about my journal. Because I'm like one of those different coaches that really takes pride in not only the physical aspect of like hitting and defense, but the mental approach, which is like way more important to me than the actual defense or hitting. That's the part when I figured out my mental game, I was unstoppable. So a lot of girls that have signed up for this, if you guys have looked, my free mental training, it's called goal setting training on August 29th. I have like a free course that I'm doing, but literally I'm teaching on the fact that the mental game and being able to know how to journal and like look at the approach of hitting before actually swinging the bat, how important that is to be successful as a hitter. So I'll go into that at the very end, but I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to like journaling and goal setting and doing things and like sticking to them when they get tough. So today I wanted to show you guys all about my journal. And yes, I know this is Wonder Woman, but sometimes I need that little boost of motivation to be able to say, you know what, this may be tough, but I'm a warrior, I'm strong. If Wonder Woman can do it, I can do it. And sometimes like the way I'm looking at this too, it's like, yeah, this is Wonder Woman. And like, I have to understand too, she's not always perfect. Because sometimes I try to like be and come off like I'm always positive, I'm always excited, I'm never tired, like we always try to like be something that we're not sometimes. And I told you I woke up at 4 a.m. today. So like, yeah, I'm tired, but I'm here and I'm going to keep showing up for you like no matter how tired I am, because I think you guys are worth it. Like you guys are so worth it. And this topic is so important. On the back of the journal, actually, it says, keep your hands extended to all in friendliness, but never holding the gun of persecution and intolerance. That's on the back of my journal. So sometimes I need to look at that and really like reflect on, where am I at? Where am I going? What do I need to keep doing? What do I maybe need to stop doing? Like, in order to be the best human being that I can be for those who follow me, but also, most importantly, those athletes that I meet every single week and I work with every single week to make them better, not only physically, but mentally. So today we're going to hit on this journal. And I normally start with a quote, but the quote, yeah, I guess you could say that was a quote. But I have another quote that I'm going to share with you later, but I'm going to go and do a deep dive into this journal, okay? This one, it's a Moleskine. Like, if you guys know what Moleskine journals are, like, this puppy was like $30, okay? People would think that's absurd to buy a journal for $30. What in the world? You can pull out a pen and paper. But to me, like, I spent $30 on this journal because I know my best stuff's going to be in here. I know that all the great days are going to be written down in here. I know all the really bad days are going to be written down in here. So, like, I literally put on the very front, too, like, if I ever lose it, which nobody better steal it, like, it says, like, as a reward, like, how much you would pay someone to get this back if you lost it. And literally, I would pay $100 for this thing. Like, because there is so much insightful, stuff where, like, all of my thoughts, my expressions are just poured out on these pages. So, like, that's why I spent $30 on this thing, because I believe in journals so dang much. Like, I have so many journals, though. Like, this is my journal where I goal set in the morning. This is my journal where I kind of goal set and talk about my day, but I also talk about, the things, like the 3 things that I have to get done that day, and then some other stuff. Like, I have so many different journals, but this one that we're doing a deep dive into today, this one is the one where you're going to get all the emotions, all the realness. And so this is the one where I was just like, I'm kind of nervous to, like, share the things that I've written in here, but I think it's important because if I'm going to preach it, you better know what I'm saying, like, what I'm putting down here. Like, this stuff isn't made up. This stuff was not written down for this show, but this is the stuff where you see, like, truly what's going on. Like, because a lot of people try to avoid when things aren't going great, but the best thing you could do is reflect and try to understand why, you're negative to yourself, or why you're mean to yourself, or why you made that mean comment to so-and-so at the restaurant and you were just like, why did I say that? But, like, whenever those things happen, like, I write it down because normally I can figure out the answer why. And if you want to start figuring out the answer why right before an at-bat you say all these negative things and you end up always having bad at-bats, I promise you, if you write down physically, like, what's going on, you can normally figure out why you are that way. So, we're going to start on a positive note, and we're going to go with a journal entry that I did, let's see, on, what month is it? It's September, August. So, July, sorry, I'm so bad with numbers. July 31st, I wrote this. And like I said, I'm doing a positive one. So I'm going to read out the whole thing and then we can talk about it. By the way, it's kind of long. It's right here. All right. On July 31st, I said, I've decided today that every day I will start my day with learning something I didn't know. Today I listened to 2 Jenna Kutcher podcasts. Jenna Kutcher is one of the podcasts that I listen to, and she does online marketing, a lot of Instagram stuff. So, like, she's basically giving me information about social media that I didn't already know, okay? So I said, I listened to 2 Jenna Kutcher podcasts on course creation because I have a course launching in less than a month. And then right under that, I said, I got this. Stay focused to achieve your dreams of impacting more people. I learned the course I build should reflect me. I do live videos every week. Holla. So, of course, I'll do some live private coaching for these kids as well. So that's a feature that you'll get with the coaching series that I come out, the Academy that's coming out on August 30th. I'm coming to coach them in ways I like to be coached. I like to be coached hands-on. I like to be coached in person, so live. Here we go. Hashtag soul work. I'm going to be creating PDFs. I'm going to be creating homework. A creativity flow, so like getting all of that flow state, so when you're in like your best state, getting it all down on paper so you have that to reflect on. Tracking progress, achieve little wins, because it's great to celebrate the big ones, but you got to celebrate the little ones too. Be challenged, and that was one where I was just like, how challenging do I want to make this? And honestly, I'm going to make it a pretty tough course. Like, I'm going to make it a course where, like, when you achieve it, you're like, dang, like, look what I just did. Look what I just put my heart and soul into, and look how I just came out of it. So the challenging part of, like, I'm not going to, like, make this sound fluffy. It's going to be a tough course. And the reason why is because whenever I achieve something tough, whenever I go on, like, a 3-mile run and it's really hard, and I get home, I feel so darn good about myself that, like, it was so challenging that I'm like, man, I deserve some ice cream. Like, something that's gonna, like, make me say, yes, girl, like, I can't believe you just did that. So that's why I'm gonna make my course kind of challenging. And I also said that in the courses I want to create guidance. So, like, being able to give you videos, give you feeds, give you people to follow, things to follow, so that you can stay on track. Okay, and then at the very end I said, quote unquote, negative thoughts are going to creep in, but positive strategies are what will take away their power. I kind of wrote a similar post. I think it was like the day I wrote this. It's so crazy. Like, I write a couple quotes on my social media, and honestly, like, they're quotes that just come to me. Like, when I'm journaling, like, I wrote that quote just because it felt like the right time to, and it felt like, oh my gosh, like, people need to hear this. And they're quotes that, like, I come up with. And some people are probably looking at them like, oh, I think I heard something similar before. But, like, to be honest, I'm not writing these quotes because I've heard them. They're because I've written this on paper, and I love it. Like, I love being able to just, like, do some inner soul searching while I'm writing down things. There have literally been journal entries where I wrote, like, pages upon pages of things. Like, this one, I titled it Exhausted. And I wrote 2 pages worth of why I'm exhausted. And literally at the end, I was like, this is what you signed up for. I was like, get your head out of your butt. This is what you signed up for. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like motivating myself. Because you can't, like, yes, some other people are going to motivate you. But the only one that's going to get your butt actually up physically is yourself. So if you can find a way to motivate yourself, which for me, I found a way to motivate myself is journaling, like, almost every single day. I can't say that I write in this journal every day. This is the juicy stuff. This is the stuff where, when something really good or something really bad happens, it's down here. Like, if I filled this thing every single day, I'd get like 30 pages in and I'd have to buy another $30 journal. So that's why this is my expensive one, and this is why I'm putting in the deep stuff in here. But I honestly think if you have a journal, you are doing it injustice if you aren't writing something down every day. It could be positive affirmations. It can be something where something like crazy happened the other day and you never want to forget it. You write it down, because guess what? Like, I'm probably going to pull out I would say, like, I almost said hundreds of journals. I don't have hundreds of journals, but I have a lot of journals that sometimes I just, like, flip open and I'm like, dang, that was my issue 5 years ago. I was having trouble with this. I think my issues have increased since then. So it's almost like seeing how far you've come as well. And that's something I love about journaling. Like, I have 2 other journals just like this that are like $30. And, like, I opened one of them up the other day and I was just like, man, I thought my problems were so large then. And now I'm like, well, okay, I'm dealing with some different stuff now. Okay, so I shared with you a positive one. So if you notice in there, like, I literally wrote, you got this, because I was going through something that, like, it was tough, like, coming up with, like, course creation. What am I going to do? But, like, I knew that in that moment, I needed to hear that. I needed to hear, you got this. And I wrote it to myself, because, like, you don't have to always get your inspiration from other people. You can find it within. So if you are literally just, like, watching this right now and you're just like, man, this girl's not really inspiring, maybe open up your own journal and write down things that are going well for you and see if you can inspire yourself, because darn, I do it every time I write in here. Okay, so I shared with you a positive one. And I want to share with you a negative one. Not negative, but, like, one where it was just like, slow your horses. Like, you needed this. You needed to reflect on this. You needed to get this down on paper. And most of the time when it's, like, one of the negative ones, like, my handwriting's not very good. Like, I noticed that because I'm just writing down so fast. Okay, so this one I wrote on 6/6/19. I called it Recoup and Reflect. And I started off with, yo, Superwoman. Here's your reminder that you're not every day going to give lessons and it's going to be fantastic. Yesterday was rough, admit it, and move on. Your energy was average and you were pushing inspiration rather than being it. You had your youngest athletes back to back, which my youngest athletes are the ones where I have to give a little bit more to motivate. So when I say I had my youngest lessons back to back, that's what that means. And remember, you're not helping them play in college yet. You're helping them love the game and want to look forward to getting better at it. I get it. It was hot. It was humid. And they entered into your space tired. But it's your job to find the hunger and get it out of them. Next time you feel like you're losing them, check in with yourself. Give them a water break and brainstorm how you can effectively bring them back to your world without pushing it. Do this rather than panic while they're with you to try and rush to come up with the next best thing that they can do. You have an hour with them. Take a 2 to 3 minute water break. It's probably more necessary than you think. So you can, sorry, I can't even read my own handwriting. Then you can take all the physical energy, so you can take a physical and mental break to recoup and bring the energy for the next round of challenges you give them. So like this was kind of one where it was just like, hey, you're not meant to be perfect every single day. I come here with passion. I come here with excitement. I come here with like knowledge that I wish I would have had. And like I try to share as much as I can with other people, but sometimes I just need to write down in here like, hey, you're not perfect. You're not always going to be perfect. Don't expect it, but learn from it. So like that day I learned that, hey, you don't have to try to keep pushing for the thing that's going to stick with them, especially the young ones. But like in that moment, like taking a break, sitting down, seeing how they're feeling, and kind of just getting a gauge on the situation is sometimes the best thing to do. A lot of people think, oh, when things aren't going well, you just have to keep going, like something will stick, keep going. And in reality, sometimes you have to be able to slow it down and be like, whoa, okay, I'm here. I need to reflect on what's going well, what's not going well. And sometimes like literally just writing down what's not going well, I solved my own problems by writing it down in my journal. So like this is where I know like journaling probably sounds stupid, it probably sounds crazy to some people, but I will literally journal until the day I die. I listen to too many podcasts of amazing influencers and amazing people in this darn world, and every single one of them is journaling and reflecting and seeing what's working and seeing what's not. So like if I want to be the best in my industry, I better be journaling and doing the same thing, because I have learned that I have learned things faster. Whenever I listen to a podcast, my journal is always out because there's always something I want to learn. So if you guys noticed in the journal entry, the first one that I wrote, I said I was going to start my day every day learning something that I didn't know. And I feel like that's where a lot of people, you have the answers like to your problems on like the internet probably has the answer to your problem. I listen to enough podcasts where literally I have probably 25, maybe 30 podcasts like on my podcast app that I'm subscribed to, that if I'm feeling a certain way one day and I need to get myself out of my own way, normally there's like a podcast that was released within the last couple weeks by one of these influencers that I follow that will help me get out of my own way. So like there are answers to help you that are right there. And the thing is, if you start every day with where you're at and then try to learn something you didn't already know, like I used to hate reading when I was little. I used to hate it. Like it was the worst thing in the world. Like, I hated it. I didn't even like reading Harry Potter books, and people were like, you're crazy. I'm like, yeah, I just don't like reading. But now, like, if I'm not podcasting, I'm reading, because there are always things that I don't know in those books. And that's why I probably whip out Mind Gym every single day. Every single live almost. Today I'm not actually bringing it out, but because there's so much stuff in there that like I read years ago that I'm looking back at it like, whoa, I totally missed that quote, and now it's like it has like a stronger impact on my heart. So there are just so many answers in books, in podcasts, in all. I say podcast and literally Going Yard podcast just like popped up into my feed. I love it. But there's so many outlets to learn, and like if you don't want to go into that realm yet, I'm telling you right now that like you can journal and figure out problems on your own if you whip out your journal and you write down what's going on. Like if you write down where you're at, where you want to be in life, like your journal can normally, and it's not the journal, guys. It's your brain. It's your brain. You are literally writing your brain down on paper. And if you don't journal every single day, if you journal once a week, make that journal impactful. Because if you look at this thing like a year from now and you're looking at it like, whoa, like that's what I learned. That's the thing that I learned when I was, what I read earlier, when I was slowing down in lessons and I needed some sort of help and guidance and just slow down. That was my solution. So you will be able to find problems to your solution by expressing yourself in your journal. I wanted to kind of go through a little tactic. If you have a pen and paper nearby, I recommend you go grab it right now, because this is something that I'm literally going to talk about Rachel Hollis again. She's like one of the biggest inspirations when it comes to like me making moves in my own game. She's my coach that I've invested in. And I think I posted that earlier, like in my video. But she wrote down this book. It's called the Start Today Journal. And so like every single day, I haven't even written in it today because I wanted to do it with you. But the whole key with the Start Today Journal is to start your day with a positive note. And I know it's 3 p.m. Actually, it's 3:26 p.m. So it's not the morning at all. But trust me, there are many more hours in this day that you can make an impact. So I'm going to do this with you. But it's called the Start Today Journal. And this is a tactic that I do every single morning. And it took me a long time to be able to come up and create. Going Yard has their pen and paper out. I love it. So first of all, I want you to write today's date. And sadly, I don't even know what today's date is. Is it the 19th? Can somebody tell me? I think it's the 19th. I could be wrong. Somebody like give me hearts if it's the 19th. Whether or not I'm writing that. The first thing to write down underneath it is softball students. She also has this, and she's also done this. I love it. The first thing you're going to write down are the things that you're grateful for. Yes, thank you, Going Yard. The things that you're grateful for. So for me, I'm just going to write down the things that have happened within the last 24 hours that I was like super grateful for. Yes, it's the 19th. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you helping me out. So things that have happened within the last 24 hours. I went to lunch today with a good friend, so I'm going to write that down. Try to think of 5 things. Like, I'll give you a couple minutes to kind of reflect. 5 things that you're grateful for that have happened within the past 24 hours. And it might take a good 5 minutes to actually, like, put together. But I'll give you, like, a couple minutes to write down the things that you've written. So today, I'm writing down, went to lunch with a great friend. Okay, second thing I'm going to write down that I'm grateful for today is my 30-minute nap. That was amazing. I needed that because I was up at 4. My 30-minute nap. I am literally going to write down the next thing are these tortillas that I found at Costco that have changed my life. And I had them last night for dinner, and they were phenomenal. Like, it's little things like that like, get me excited and happy. So I'm writing down the organic tortillas I found from Costco. Call me goofy, guys. This is the stuff that makes me happy. Tacos from Costco. If you guys want to share some of the things that you're writing down as the things that you're grateful for that have happened, it's kind of inspiring, like, when you see other people writing stuff down. And it's kind of cool when, like, somebody else might have the same exact thing that, like, made them happy. Okay, so that's 3. What else? What am I? Gotta think about it. What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for a lot of things. I texted my sister at school. I'm actually going to see her this week, and I'm really excited. So I'll say I texted my sister, and I know that sounds weird because I should probably talk to her every day. But, like, whenever I text my sister, it puts me in, like, the best mood because my whole life I've been, like, trying to be, like, the best role model for my younger sisters. So, like, when I get to see them doing their thing, which she has practice this week, and I get to go see her in her element, I'm so excited to do that. So I'm going to say chatted with Christina this morning. Okay, one more thing. What are you guys writing? I want to know what you're writing as, like, things that you're grateful for. Let's see. One more thing that I'm grateful for today was... This is tough. Oh, I'm grateful for this. Okay, this is crazy. You guys, again, you're going to think I'm insane. But I am, like, a huge ramen noodles fan. Like, not ramen noodles like the stuff that people... The cheap stuff, but, like, ramen. I don't know if you guys have had actual ramen, like... I can't even describe it, but there's like a legit cuisine that like I was missing out on my entire life, and it's real ramen, and they put like an egg noodle in it, and it's just like, oh my gosh, so much goodness. But my area doesn't really have a ramen place, and today on my way home from lunch with my friend, I saw that they were opening up a ramen joint like probably 5 minutes away from me, and I am so excited. Like, that's what I'm gonna write as my 5th thing that I'm grateful for. Ramen. A lot of things that I'm grateful for is food. So judge me all you want. I love food. Noodle place opening. Woo! Okay, softball student said, this morning I wrote down, I'm grateful I spent quality time with my friends this weekend and unplug. That's so good. Like, literally, if anything that you can write down that you're grateful for, it could be, lunch with friends. It could be, I went to the beach. I went outside. I played a game. Like, I don't know. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be, like, specific to softball all the time. It can be whatever sets your heart on fire and you get excited about. Like, me, 2 of those 5 things were about food because I love food. And I feel like, well, my relationship with food could probably be better because I love it so much. But it's just stuff that, like, within the past 24 hours, if you can, like, remember that one thing, like holding hands with your significant other or just shopping at the mall, buying this shirt from Under Armour this weekend that I freaking love. Just things that are going to, like, put you in the best mood for the day. So we wrote down, I hope you guys did it too, 5 things that we're grateful for the day. And then, so this is the next part where I'm probably not going to share all the things that I've written down. But underneath the 5 things that you're grateful for, it says in this journal, the 10 dreams I made happen. And this is where I did a lot of like soul searching, reflecting on like where I want to see myself in about 10 years. Because I have to be able to see and envision my goal in order for me to go and get it and to achieve it and to do it at a pace where I know like every single day, this decision that I make is going to be a reflection of what I want in the future. So the 10 dreams that I made happen, I'll give you a couple just because I feel like people need to know like from what sort of the brain we're working here. Like you don't have to think like you're going to walk on the moon. Like that's, realistic for my uncle who wants to go and do that. But for me, like, I don't want to do that. It has to be reflective of you, not something that I do. So I hope that you don't write down the things that I write down because these have to be a reflection of you and where you want to be. So for me, just examples are, I told my email list, like the biggest thing that I'm going after right now is 10,000 YouTube subscribers. Every single live that we do, like I put up on YouTube because if anybody wants to rewatch it, it's always going to be on there. But also like I want to be able to share things that like people can tangibly take the advice that I'm giving and going and putting it and doing it to their own life and seeing the results. So like I want to be able to put up stuff that's inspiring, that's going to help people like basically get out of their own way and have the tools and tricks and all the things that are going to help them become the best version of themselves. So like my goal, which is one of the 10 dreams I made happen, is 10,000 YouTube subscribers. And the catch is that you don't write it with a I want to or I will. You write it as if it's already happened. And the reason why, like studies show, the reason why you do this is because if you say it like it's already happened, you now see yourself in that situation. When I hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers, what kind of state I will be in when that happens. Okay, so like I'm envisioning, 10,000 YouTube subscribers. Like I have a routine. Like when I do this, like I will probably pop a bottle of champagne and celebrate this thing because I've been working so hard for it. But seeing yourself in the moment when it does happen is like super key. So like writing every single thing down, like what you see yourself doing in 5 to 10 years, like in the future, no deadline, just what you want. Rachel Hollis has told me like this, and it has worked for me. Like one thing that I just did was I just paid off all my student loans. That was something that I wrote in here for like almost a year and just kept repeating it. So like I kept doing the things that I was doing and trying to find innovative ways to get to that goal faster. So like write it as if it's already happened. One other one that I write is, this is actually one that I kind of stole from someone, but I really, really like it. It's like a mantra. I eat foods that bless my body. So some days, there are days where I eat really well and I'm like, you know what? This girl wants a donut. And I go get a donut because that's what's going to bless me today. But I also have to understand that in order for me to be at my best for everyone around me, is to eat well. So if I write down that I'm going to eat foods that bless my body, most likely when I make a decision, should I eat healthy or unhealthy, and I think of this, I only eat foods that bless my body, boom, I'm probably making a really darn good salad, which, by the way, I love the salads that I make so much that I don't really go get salads out to eat. I am one of those people that, like, I'm routine. Like, every day at lunch, I have a salad. Every morning, I have oatmeal. And it's because, like, I feel my best when I eat those things, so I'm going to keep eating them. So that was another goal that I have. I eat foods that bless my body because it makes me show up the best possible way that I possibly can be. So those are just a couple of examples of things that I've made happen. On this list, there are actually 10 things that I write down every single day, goals that I make happen. And the key, the last thing, this is it. The last thing is you pick one of those 10 as the goal that you are going to achieve first. So I told you about the YouTube subscribers, like, that's my goal. My goal is to get 10,000. People call me crazy for wanting 10,000, but guess what? The serious question is, if your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough. This goal scares me, but I'm going to show up every single day to try to achieve it. So that's where, like, you have to find the things that are going to scare you, but also excite you. Because if you can see yourself and envision yourself in that state after it's happened, like, the world is your oyster. Like, you will get that thing and you'll be like, okay, what's the next thing? By the way, people say that if you go and you achieve that goal that you've, like, set out to do, if you don't celebrate it, that's where you create this almost monster. Because, like, if you're always setting out for things and not celebrating the actual wins, like, you're always going to be achieving and not knowing why you're achieving them, other than the fact that it feels good for that second. So if you write down something that, like, you achieve, like, that you want to make happen, like, when I get my 10,000 YouTube subscribers, like, I am planning on opening a bottle of champagne in my house or in my apartment, wherever I am at the time, and I'm going to celebrate that darn thing, because that's a big deal. Like, it's a big deal when you go get this one thing. So think about what's that one thing of the list of 10 things that you want to achieve so bad that, like, you can see yourself almost doing it. Like, I have some crazy things on here. Like, I kid you not, we own a home in Europe. Like, that is something, Europe's my favorite place to vacation. My goal, my dream is to be able to have a home there and, like, be able to, like, spend a month there a year, a couple months there a year. Like, how cool would that be? Like, it just makes me happy and makes me excited, like, to think about it. So, like, yeah, one day I may, like, change up some of these and, like, say, you know what, like, I wanted that at the time and now I don't, but this is what is going to move the needle faster, like, for everyone. This right here, being able to write down and see and envision your goals, is huge. So today I went over, what I wrote personally in my own journal, what I write to myself every single day that I want to accomplish. But just understand that, like, journaling and books, and, like, when I was little, if you would have told me this, I would have said, no thanks, I'll hit on that later. That's how I would have been. But, like, now I'm in the state where, like, journaling is seriously my superpower. Like, it is something where I figure out things on my own when I do this, and I like, strongly encourage everyone to do it. If you didn't hear the stories that I shared earlier, you can always go back and watch. But it gets real in here. It gets real. And the good thing is, like, nobody else has to know what's in here except you. Like, yeah, I shared a couple of my journal entries just so, like, basically, if I preach it, I want you to see what I'm doing. But nobody else has to know what's in here. Like, this is literally all you. This is you and your thoughts. And I'm telling you right now, if you pay attention and you focus on the things that you're thinking about and what you're going through, you will be able to get yourself out of your own way. So I encourage you to do that. I encourage you, if you don't know what, I'm going to go back to this for a second. If you don't know what, like, a dream or a goal is, and you kind of have, like, trouble trying to figure out what it's going to be, I am literally holding a free masterclass on August 29th where we're going to go over, like, what your goal, what that thing, how to find that thing that excites you, and go after it all in. So we're going to be doing that on August 29th. August 30th is when the first day of my online course is to sign up for, where we're not only going to create a goal, we're going to create habits and good routines to be able to keep going towards that goal no matter what, especially when it gets hard. Because I'm telling you right now, when I write down that, like, I want to get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers, I'm going to get to 5,000 and I'm going to think, this is ridiculously hard. I don't think I'm ever going to get to 10,000. Because that's how people are. Everybody is going to get into a state where they say that they can't do it. And that's the important thing. It's to be able to have routines and habits when that negative thought creeps in. When the negativity of, oh, you can't do this, it comes. It comes to every single person on the planet. Like Beyonce, I guarantee you, has negative thoughts that go into her brain, but she has the best routines to get herself out of it. So I'm going to help you guys come up with those routines and habits when the negative thoughts creep in. So join my masterclass. My live masterclass for the goal setting, but also my academy that's starting on the 30th. And we'll be able to go through it together, try to figure out what that thing is that excites you and go after it all in and be surrounded by people that are also going after greatness. So if you guys have questions about that, send me a DM. But this was so much fun. It's already 3:40. I don't know how we do this in 40 minutes. Like, it feels like I just hopped on here like 10 seconds ago. But y'all are amazing. I hope you have an incredible week. I'm going to challenge you to write down something in your journal, like something that happened today that's either great or not so great, and try to just see what you're going to write down. Don't be afraid. Just write a bunch of words and see what pops up, because I guarantee you're going to surprise yourself with the things you write down, and you're going to be able to help yourself along the way when you do it, okay? All right, so you guys are incredible. I'll see you next week. Next week, actually, I'm going to have Kelsey Kloss on a live show, and I cannot wait to have her on here. Are you home yet? I want to hit with you. That's one of my weeklies. I am home, but check your email. We have some news that is going on that you need to know, which nobody else can know yet, but you will know. I know I just left you on a cliffhanger, but you will know the things that are going on. But you guys are incredible. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Monday with Kelsey Kloss. All right. Bye, friends.